Welcome to Gloria's Gap Live. Today I have a very interesting person whom I've known forever, and she's executive director of the Way Forward Foundation, Lucy Foerster. And this amazing woman has a lot on her plate, aside from a full-time job with Tonkinson.
Yep.
We've got, she manages to eke out additional hours in the day to run this amazing foundation, and congratulations on that. And you have
Gloria.
We're going to talk about some great events that you have coming up. Before we do that, we have to thank South Florida PBS, sponsor our show week after week and allow us to bring to you information on people doing great work in our community. And right now, I know if you haven't been to it yet, the Da Vinci Immersive Art Experience is pretty outstanding. You'll want to do that. And it runs through April. So you've got time to go and bring a group of people. And I think they do have group rates too. So think about going. It's something your kids will enjoy as well, because there's all kind of interactive things during the exhibit. And if you're not already a member of, I'm sure you're a member, we get one of these once a month, and it tells you everything that's happening on TV, and so many great programs coming up. And I love watching all the programs. And my friend, Dr. Leah, has a sex talk program that's hilarious and very informative. I've learned a lot. Anyway.
I'm sure you have, Gloria.
Yeah. So tell me, we've got the Lobster Fest coming up.
We do. It's going to be amazing.
So much fun. So tell us about it and how it works, because I've been, but
of course,
for people who have never been before, what can they expect to have happen?
Yeah. So my family obviously started the Way Forward Foundation. And if you look at any of the events that we host, they all have some sort of touch of our family, right? And so growing up, we get to go to Maine every summer. Super amazing. My grandmother's family started going, and so we've continued the tradition. And if we have any large gathering, it would be around a lobster bake.
Oh, really?
And so that's why when we had our first big dinner, it was a lobster bake.
And just to backtrack a teeny bit, the reason this foundation got started, let's talk about that.
Okay, for sure.
As we talk about Woody.
Yes, Woody.
Okay.
He's the core of all
He's a great guy.
Of the Way Forward. We started the nonprofit in 2011 after Woody was injured in a rugby tournament and here in Miami. And then we started meeting a lot of his roommates in the hospital, and Woody rarely ever ate any hospital food because people were visiting him every day, all day. And so we acknowledged that other people weren't as fortunate as him. And so we wanted to help other people in his shoes. And so that's why we started the Way Forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that started, do you remember how long you've been around now?
It's bonkers. We're going to...
I don't remember when it was.
This spring, we'll have our 15th fishing tournament.
That's great. Is that the first thing you started doing? Was
that
the
was
fishing?
The first thing, yeah.
Okay.
Woody's godbrother, David Mills, him and Woody were dive buddies, and they would go diving all the time, and they love just being underwater, right? And so David said, we're going to have a fishing tournament, and then we're going to purchase equipment so people in the hospital can have a better rehab experience after their injury.
Oh, what a great idea. Yeah. So, and then how did the Lobster Fest move into that?
Yeah.
Because
so then
again,
you can't just have one event.
No.
You got to have more than one. And so we had the lobster event. And then the first lobster event was actually at my uncle's house.
Oh,
and
really?
My Aunt Julia set out this amazing spread, and then the lights went out.
No.
But she decorated so incredibly with all these candles that no one really noticed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so it was pretty amazing.
So, and do you fly in the lobsters? How does it happen?
We do fly the lobsters in.
And how many do you fly in?
Oh, so many.
I was
the
going to
chick
say
lobsters.
it was.
We'll probably get 250 lobsters.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went to summer camp in Maine,
Right.
and one of my summer camp counselors, her family owns a lobster company, and so I called them and we got the lobsters from them.
Oh my goodness! I couldn't. I never saw so many lobsters in my life. I'm going. I just set this bucket out with.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Help yourself.
Help yourself.
Yeah, and you had a lot of good sides, as I recall.
Oh yeah, Coral Reef really does an amazing job, and
Yeah.
No one leaves there hungry for sure.
No, that's for sure. Yeah. And so how much is it, and how do people, sign up and buy tickets?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we always love when people buy an entire table.
That's always good. Yeah.
You can purchase those tickets right on our website,
Okay.
or you can email me. It's really cute. A lot of people think that when they send an email or a message or a website, they're like, who does it go to? And I'm like, oh, it all goes to me.
Yeah, okay.
So however you reach out, we'll get it, and we'll make sure that you get to be on the guest list.
Yeah. So how much is the table?
Yeah. So actually, I can't distinctly recall how much a table is in this moment, which is very embarrassing. But we have early bird tickets, which are $225. And so I encourage everyone to get the early bird ticket, so you get a little bit of a discount.
So what's the cutoff for early bird?
That is in early February. Yeah. Sorry, I should have been more prepared.
That's all right.
But you can find all this information on our website.
Exactly. And the website is, do we have it?
Yeah,
Are we scrolling
wayforward.org.
Just
wayforwardfoundation.org. Yeah.
Wayforwardfoundation.org.
Yep.
Okay, that's easy enough.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So then you do this. How much have you made in the past from these?
Yeah. So when we have an event like this and we name a partner, so we actually have a community partner for this event. And so we share the proceeds with our community partner.
Okay. And who's your community partner this time?
It's the Sabrina Cohen Foundation.
Sabrina Cohen. And what is that foundation about?
So Sabrina grew up on Miami Beach, and her dream is to have the beach accessible for individuals at all times. To just, you and I get to go to the beach and on a whim, and we'll just pack up our little bag and we go out, and it's amazing. In a wheelchair, it's a little different. You might get a little stuck in the sand.
Right.
And so Sabrina, at the moment, has been doing an amazing job where she hosts these beach days. Mm-hmm. And so her organization, all her volunteers, she's like an army of volunteers. It's amazing. Yeah. They'll put out all of these mats so people can roll their chair out there. And then she has
that must be amazing. Massive undertaking.
It's incredible. Yeah. It's incredible. And so she has some beach chairs and, again, very well-trained volunteers who can assist people and transfer from their everyday chair into the beach chair. And then they go into the water. And Gloria, it's amazing. Gosh. I mean, I've seen people who were maybe injured and hadn't been in the water for 20 years.
Right.
And then I met people, maybe in their 20s who'd never been in the water. Ever. Right?
And that's just crazy.
And Miami, we pride ourselves on the beach, right? It's our greatest gift.
Exactly.
And so Sabrina has been able to create this platform for people to enjoy, everybody to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so hopefully in the future, it's a put out, tear down. And so she wants to make it a little more permanent. She's been working really hard with the county and the city of Miami Beach to make that happen.
Oh, that would be really interesting.
So,
and would you do it with mats or would you do it with wood?
I think it'd be
some
mats.
Kind of organic material.
Yeah.
Yeah. With mats,
there's
you think?
A plethora of different types of material that I've seen and read loads of articles how other places.
So has Woody tried it?
Oh yeah, he goes out there.
Oh yeah.
She has it twice a month, and it's pretty amazing.
Oh, that's pretty good. Twice a month.
Yep. There's a season, so right now, because it's a little cold, it's on hold, but it will be back. I think she reopens in April.
Up a little bit.
Yeah. Because we're all cold, but
Yeah, well, the water is.
Yeah, it's freezing.
But once you get in, you get used to it.
Right.
And then it's colder outside than it is in the water.
Yeah.
At that point, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, what do you hope to, first of all, you want exposure for this because you want people to know about it, but
Of
also
course.
they can donate to
Yes,
help
they can,
you in your all the different programs you're doing.
Of course. So not only, we're a small organization, right? And so we acknowledge that there are amazing things that are happening in our community that we can't give attention to. So that's why we partner with different organizations, but we also have our own programs. So one that we're very excited is coming up in the first Sunday of February is the Miami Marathon. So a handful of people on our board participate in the marathon. Shout out to my coworker, Steven, who's actually a streaker. He's run every single Miami Marathon since the start, which is really cool. His goal is to be the longest streaker of Miami Marathon. So,
wow.
But a handful of people participate in the marathon. And so we thought, how cool would it be if we helped make our hometown marathon the destination for the wheelchair division?
Right.
And so we noticed a disparity of in the purse prize. And so able-bodied runners are getting a lot more than the wheelchair division.
Oh, really?
And so we've helped enhance that. It's not quite the same yet.
To make it more attractive for people to come.
Correct. Yeah. So
if you've
the
got
more
some
people,
big prize money, you'll make the
more
trip.
people will come, and
that's good for economic impact too.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's incredible. We actually partner again with another organization called the Challenge Athletes Foundation, and we donate to them, and then they reach out to different athletes that they know who've participated. Actually, it's really incredible. Some of the athletes are coming after their Paralympic debut.
Wow.
Yeah, and so they're going to be here at the race, and so it's going to, really be a.
So you're going to have some stars there.
Yeah, we are.
Oh
yeah,
my
so
gosh.
it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the date on that one is the 2nd. That's coming up quick.
Yeah, February. Let's go. Yeah, it's going to be right around the corner.
It's February 2nd, guys. If February 2nd is the first Sunday in February, because we don't have a calendar in front of us. I think it is, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We believe it.
Anyway, so the marathon's amazing. And how many people do you have helping you out do all this stuff?
So we actually
Other than your board.
We're part of the helpers. Lifetime, they're an incredible organization, and they put on the race, and we just get to be part of that. Yeah.
I've not heard of Lifetime.
Yep. So Lifetime.
It's a timed race?
Oh, yeah. It's actually Boston qualifier.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
It's actually
pretty
intense. It's we have a lot of runners out there, a lot of participants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So typically, how many runners in that race?
So the overall race?
Yeah, right.
I think there's about, I think they cap it at like 18,000. Yeah, Gloria.
18,000?
Are you sleeping in on the first Sunday of February every year?
Apparently.
You got to get Frankie Ruiz on your show. He's going to talk about it.
Oh my gosh, I should.
You
absolutely should. 18,000?
It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Well,
the wheelchair division is, much smaller than that, but the overall race is pretty incredible.
I mean, I can't even imagine doing a marathon.
So, it starts out at the where the Heat play, and then travel out to Miami Beach, come back. The half marathoners stop at Biscayne Park, and then the full marathoners, they'll go down to Coconut Grove and come back. Yeah, I'm tired thinking about it. I might need some water.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I do a 5K, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, I've had it for today.
For sure. Yeah, me too. I mean, it's pretty great. We our organization started volunteering just as a cheer section, and now we've been able to evolve into helping out with the wheelchair division, which has been just
that's
incredible.
Really exciting. You know? So, so tell me, when you do because Lobster Fest coming up, and then right after that,
we have the Bash fishing tournament, which started.
And
that was the kickoff.
What month is that?
So that is in April. It's April 26th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be our
Write that
15th
down.
annual bash fishing tournament. We have different categories of line fishing, so like mahi and snapper. But then we also, the event originated as a lionfish tournament, and so people go in the water and spearfish, which is pretty great.
Oh, wow.
The most coveted prize, obviously, is the smallest lionfish.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. We just have different categories. It's a great time.
How do you attract? Is it with a lure that you attract different types of fish?
I'm not much of an angler, but
I don't get it.
Yeah,
It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have it for these different types of fish, and I go, hey, I'm lucky if I catch a fish.
Yeah, ditto.
I know.
Yeah. I'll never forget the first bash. David Mills, I got to fish with him.
Yeah.
I was all nervous, and I was like, Dave, how are we going to do this? And he goes, oh, Lucy, lionfish, they're so silly. They're so dumb. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. And
Really?
Highlight of my life, I caught 5 in one day.
Get out.
That's probably, that was 15 years ago. So
Do you see
I
schools
peaked
of
then.
them? What do? You see schools of them, and then you
so
put
you
your
just
lures
go
in?
in. Well, for the lionfish, you have to get in the water,
Oh,
underneath, hold your breath, have a Hawaiian sling, make sure you shoot it correctly. It's pretty incredible.
and make sure nobody else is around so you don't
Correct.
shoot somebody
Yeah,
else.
Definitely.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Okay, so now when they're in
We're
the
gonna
water,
get you in
and
the
you
water
shoot
this
them-
time.
Yeah, right. So you shoot them.
Yes,
They bleed.
they do.
Okay, and then does that attract sharks?
I think that the goal is to not do it around sharks. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
It's not like you're gonna.
we're not going, super deep in the water, so I think
Okay.
people are fine. Yeah.
because it's high enough.
Yeah.
So if the shark
You
come
just,
around, you can see
you
them.
just bring the fish out of the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is it shallow water or is it deep water?
When
you
I
did
go, it was pretty shallow, but I think
Because you stand up.
I could swim down a little bit, but yeah.
So maybe 9-10 feet.
I am short, yes, but some people do it in 20, some people do it in like 30 feet. So I'm sure
Okay,
there are more advanced people who can go farther.
Okay.
Woody he could probably hold his breath for like 3 minutes. So just
I
kidding,
bet.
not that long, but
Yeah,
it felt like an eternity
So
when
now,
he'd be under
does
there.
Woody do it?
He doesn't do it anymore. He does get in the water as often as possible, though.
Yeah.
And he
So-
spends if you ever want to hang out with him, you just go down to Shake a Lake. He'll probably be there all day. He just likes being out on the water.
Shake a Leg's,
Yeah.
another great organization.
That's
Yeah.
actually where we host our fishing tournament.
Oh, is it really?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So my Rotary Club does a lot of stuff. And of course, you know that
Yep,
because
of
with
course.
Tomlinson.
Yeah, and my Uncle Bill.
Yeah. And your Uncle Bill. Exactly. Everybody's there. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So after the fishing tournament, then.
Then we just love events.
Right.
So after the fishing tournament, we have our golf tournament, and we host that at Top Golf. And
Okay. So a golf tournament at Top Golf.
yes.
Now, I
So we
don't know-
transitioned during COVID, right? At the time that we had our golf tournament in the calendar of year, the world wasn't having golf tournaments. But Top Golf said that we could go and participate because it was, potting in the bays. And so
I'm not clear on because the only thing I'm in the neighborhood. I'm five.
yes, you
I
are.
live in Doral. I'm
right
5
down
minutes
the
away
corner.
from
Yeah.
Top Golf, but I've not. Every time they've had an event there that I've wanted to go to, I've had a conflict and not been able to go. So
Gotcha.
I know that people they drive. It's a place where you can practice your drives.
So there's
But how do you do
there
a
are
golf
targets
tournament?
out in the field, I guess is what one would call it. And so you get points for how many times you get in the target in a row. There's also different games that get played. So it's like, hey, shoot in this target or shoot in the other target. So all the targets are different colors.
So instead of holes, they have
Targets. Yep.
where you want your ball to land, and
Correct.
the closest to that gets so
Yeah,
many
sometimes
points
you
or
get it
whatever.
in. There's this giant hole. I mean, for me, it seems
Almost
like
like
teeny
playing
tiny.
darts.
Kind of, yes, exactly, just like that. And so we'll have team play, and then we also have individual play. So they'll all play together. And so it's team versus team. And then for an hour, we do the individual tournament. So we'll have an individual winner. It's lots of fun.
And in all your events, do you do you have silent auction? You do
We
that
do.
kind
We
of
do
stuff?
all those things. Yeah.
And so one of the ways people can help you is if they have prizes or
I would love that,
weekends
yeah.
or whatever, they can contact you and say, hey, I'd like to be at Topgolf, and maybe if you're doing a silent auction, I'll donate whatever.
Yeah.
And
It's
you
a really
get
great way to
you get a nice
showcase.
you get a nice high-end group of people that come to your events. So for people that want to reach that target market, it's not a bad way to get exposure and also to do something good for the community.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, that's all pure donation, right? So the entire economy of the silent auction raffle is
typically
amazing, right?
Yeah, right.
So people are donating, then we get donations on top of that. And so it makes a giant impact on our ability to, fund our programming.
Yeah. So how much do you think you give away to other nonprofits every year? Do you have any idea?
Yeah. So let's see. Our highest year, including our own programs, we gave away $176,000
For your little nonprofit?
for our little nonprofit.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
I've heard the term SLIBby, so small but mighty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Slivy. I like that.
Yeah, small but mighty. That's us. We're just, we're finding our way forward through our
But
organization.
look at the people you have behind you. I mean, first of all,
It's
your
a
whole
group.
family is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Tonkinsons. I mean, they're pretty
incredible.
amazing too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, one of the greatest benefits about our organization is that we've also had such a amazing organic growth, right? So we never maybe imagined it to what it is today. We have a group of about 6 ambassadors who have reached out to us and they said, hey, Lucy, we want to be a part of your organization. What you're doing is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And so we utilize them as amazing volunteers, and they represent what we're doing, right? I can only imagine every day what it's like to be paralyzed. Our ambassadors live it every day.
Right.
And so they're the ones who are talking to people in the community. One of our programs is called Next Chapter. And so we visit an elementary school classroom, and our ambassadors talk about what it's like to be paralyzed. They read a book with a character that's someone in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And then the kids get to ask whatever questions they want.
And they'll ask anything.
Anything. They're curious little beings, and they want to know. And we found that when they get to ask whatever they want, they can understand in their own way, right? So adults, we like to stifle things and make it very PC and don't ask this question. This one's okay, but no,
kids are the
we
best.
just let them ask whatever they want. And typically, one of my favorite experiences was, they always ask how you go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I know. I knew that was going to be one of them.
It's always, and then, one kid said, hey, I get you can't walk. Can you run? And that was just so,
you can't walk,
but can you run? Right. Yeah. And so then, one of the guys said, yeah, actually, I have another chair, and it's my sport chair. And so he talked about how he races with his sport chair.
Yeah.
And so, it's just imagining life a different way. There's
exactly.
Today we're so lucky we get to live in a time where anything's possible. And so people just adjust and make it might look a little different, but all my friends in chairs get to do the same things that I get to do, which is cool.
Yeah. That's absolutely cool. And I remember you used to have a concert too. You still have the concert?
Woodstock.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But now what are you going to call it?
Oh, still
Woodstock?
No way. We're sticking with our roots.
Do you have a date on that?
So it's the second Saturday of December.
Second Saturday
Yep.
In what?
In December.
In December.
Yep.
Oh, that's a busy time.
So it's actually 1 week after Basel. So whatever that is.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's December 12th. Yeah.
Oh, the
And
Feast of
what's
Our
really
Lady of
great
Guadalupe.
about that event is that there's about 40 to 50 people in chairs that come.
Oh, really?
And it's just an amazing, inclusive event, right? So everybody's there in community together. And I just feel like nowhere else in the world does that happen because people are just there for the music, right? No one's there feeling bad for anybody or, hey, we're here to help this group. No, we're just there together.
Exactly, to
Enjoy
enjoy
music,
a concert. Yeah. Okay, you're not going to believe it, but we're way past our time.
Oh.
But I want to thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me today. I really appreciate it.
I need water.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So before we leave, I want to thank South Florida PBS again, and I need some water. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.